Roadman Saf.
Yo, it's the Dragon.
It's your girl, Heather.
It's your boy Jason Barksdale, formerly known as JRE.
Hey, I'm Ezra Jordan, and you're listening to The Cool Table.
And you are listening to The Cool Table live.
What's up? It's me, Alfie. You're listening to The Cool Table with Adriel Smiley.
Now in the cut with Adriel Smiley. You know what I mean?
Live in the cut with Adriel Smiley. You know what it do.
You're in the cut with my boy Adriel Smiley. You heard me?
And I'm not sure if you know this, but right now, you're in the cut with my man, Adriel Smiley.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. You're listening to The Cool Table. If you want to listen live, you can listen every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to 12. You can find us on Instagram at The Cool Table Live, and all episodes are at adrielsmiley.com. We have some living legends in the building today.
Wow.
Yeah, the Kings from Stereos. No word of a lie. When I saw you guys on the Indie Week lineup, I was in there screaming, and I said I'm definitely hitting them with an email. So to have you guys in here is legendary. For anyone who kind of doesn't know, what would kind of be your crash course in like 30 seconds on who you guys are?
We are a pop band who, spent our time in Edmonton, toiling out there, going job to job, and then we got a big break on a Canadian reality TV show called Disband back in 2009, and
TBT.
You hear about an overnight success, and that's kind of how it was for us, man. So as soon as that episode dropped, we went to Walmart the next day and couldn't leave because people wanted photos and stuff. It was the craziest experience, and very lucky to have gone through that.
2009, so I was maybe 14, 15 at that time.
Perfect age to like.
No, I tell you guys for a fact, it was nuts.
Yeah,
it was nuts, and like even the way you guys were dressing, like middle school couldn't. That's what it was. Like
really, hey?
Yeah. I was watching an old performance, and you had kind of the Osiris.
I was going to say, refresh your memory. With
the like kind of the skull tees. I was the only one not wearing that.
Really?
No, it was like
sorry.
No, it was for real. It was for real. I heard you guys got your big break at Canadian Music Week. Was that before Disband, or is the internet telling lies?
The internet's telling lies. And first of all, I have a question that's very important. Is he get a 3, 2, 1 go, or should he be like?
Yeah. You're lacking. Get into that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You want to just intro this?
God. So Dan right here is not only is he a very talented bass player, he can consume a lot of food, so he's my ringer. We're trying to beat your system. We know that no one's done this, but figure if I do all the talking, which is basically the only thing I'm good at, and he does eating, we have a good shot.
All right, here I go.
So yeah, not really. I would say like Canadian Music Week for us was kind of after the fact.
Okay.
I think that's the only Canadian Music Week show we played, but for us it was very much the TV show. And like when I said overnight success, that was like almost 10 years in the making before that, because we did work our tails off before that. But definitely the TV show, and then it was like shows, iTunes, everything just blew up overnight after that. What
was your expectation going into it? How I can think of it as Canadian Idol in my head, and this fits perfectly because y'all went on tour with them heavily, but I remember Canadian Idol was on, me and my brother were watching it so closely, and Jacob Hogarth didn't end up winning. And we were like he was so far and away better than everyone else, and I'd never seen him on like a reality show that he didn't end up winning. But you guys was kind of the same thing, but it hit. Like, you guys won the show, the success, everything was like right after that. How did that feel? Did it feel like kind of everything, I guess, the stars aligned sort of thing? Because you guys were one of the better, or I would say the best, but I remember you guys stood out so much on that show, and the success kind of matched how the show was. How was it to have seen that on both sides?
Yeah, I mean, like, you kind of started off saying, like, what did you expect going into it? And for us, we always were thinking kind of one step ahead. And so when we got the phone call about this show, no word of a lie, I remember we went to play football in a field that night. We were freaking out. We're like, we're going to be on Much Music. And I remember that day us being like, guys, we're going to go on and they're going to love us. Much Music is going to want to own us. We're going to turn into their band if we do well on their show. Like, we were already kind of thinking about what kind of
that's crazy.
took place. And
we were already thinking of what was going to happen after the show. And so for so many years of touring, sleeping on floors and just being like complete losers, finally we like played this show, and then like right after we played, they were like not offering contracts, but like there's a lot of like industry people.
Yeah, they wanted to get involved
us, like, right away, and they were like, "Can you take a meeting like 5 minutes after we played?" And we're like,
"Can you guys stay and actually?"
Like, how surreal is that? Like after like living off the McDonald's like dollar menu for years, and then all of a sudden we're like, it's happening.
No, it was quick. I remember I saw something you said. Y'all lived together when you were in Toronto, and then y'all lived together in Edmonton as well. What's the difference between those two? Kind of having all the boys in one crib.
very funny. And I mean, to be completely honest, I think we're good because we have a lot of self-awareness. It's hard for it not to, but I think our dynamic did change because then we started. I can't think of a better term other than ego, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the first year living in Toronto, we had success. We were making some money, and everyone around you is telling you how cool you are. That only lasted for so long, and then we kind of went our separate ways. Well, I mean, it was fine, but we definitely couldn't live together in that situation. Too many egos under one roof is a little nuts.
Yeah, and in the beginning, like us living together in like this punk rock house in Edmonton, I think it was extremely effective, and like it was crucial in the beginning because we practiced every day. We went through we had a revolving door of drummers.
Okay.
Because they just couldn't commit to practicing 6-7 nights a week.
That's crazy. Yeah,
and we all lived together.
I saw that y'all be rolling through drummers. I don't understand that because your stuff always bangs, and I was like, wouldn't a drummer just love to?
So here's the best analogy I can give you.
Roll through, guys.
There's hockey players, and then there's the goalie. There's band dudes, and then there's the drummer.
Oh, so the drummer's like the stupid weirdo.
They're weird cats. I like Aaron a lot, but they're different, man. They're absolutely different, and nothing you need them, right? Can't win the cup without a good goal.
Analogy.
Damn. We had just hilarious luck, man. We were Spinal Tap in real life. And it was crazy. And to go back, by the way, you mentioned the other bands. We absolutely have always understood how it was completely subjective. We got a lot of opportunity, I think, based on how we looked alone, and we know that. So there's I feel weird about bands being told to disband. I know it's kind of semantics, but it's a ridiculous thing to tell a band is, keep working at it. But I'm sure there were tons of good bands who kind of got their start from that too.
This is from Wikipedia. It says, in mid-April, the band's drummer, Aaron, sustained a broken ego, leaving him unable to perform, causing the band to cancel the remaining shows.
A broken ego?
Yes.
Good writing. I like that.
I thought this was a typo. But I just want to let you guys know because I'm sure you haven't seen that.
Well, it's not wrong in a sense.
It's not wrong. I'm not
Can you read that
commenting on
again?
that.
Read that again real quick.
In mid-April, the band's drummer, Aaron...
Does it say what year?
No. But I think it was, the sentence before was talking about, I think, 2009. So
Yeah.
I think it was around that time.
Yeah, I know when
It would have been 11, but yeah.
I know what it's talking about, and I'm not commenting on
Sustained a broken
documentary.
ego, leaving him unable to perform, causing the band to cancel their remaining shows.
Yeah. He
Something broke.
He had some kind of injury. He definitely was injured.
I just thought that was amazing writing.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah.
It might even be Miles.
Something like we would say to him.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Whoever did that, I love a good chirp.
The names before Stereos, Stand By Me. I don't know if it would have been the same if you guys even if the music was all the same.
Know the other names.
Oh yeah.
I just Turn It Up. Was that a real thing?
Yeah, that was. So that wouldn't have done well.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Then we're brainstorming names because everything we come up with is either taken or not that good. We literally it was a few nights before the episode's airing because throughout the episode we're called Stand By Me and then kind of Turn It Up for a little bit. We went in and I remember we're meeting with A&R, the head of A&R, to sign our deal, and we were called City Kids, and it was a done deal, dude. It was a done deal. He's like, City Kids, we signed. We were City Kids. But can you imagine us now? There's no reunion at 33 if we're City Kids.
No way.
But dude, tell how that name came about. The whiteboard.
Oh, a whiteboard of dude. There was neon black Hollywood Diamonds.
You guys would name Hollywood Diamonds?
Dude, one that we were dead set on, and our manager, thank God, was way too cool.
Oh my god!
How?
And we're like, boys,
nuts.
that's it.
These
He's
are
like,
nuts.
no, I don't think so. I'm like, you're insane. It's way too cool.
Yo, these are all so bad.
Dude, we're 23 years old.
I have a better story about the worst name. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and make this. I don't want to I'm going to try and make this as concise as possible. So there's been a lot of talk about us working with Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So he came into the fold, and he, of course, is this all-knowing guy. I've never been a Kiss fan, so I don't care. He comes in, and he's like, so what's the singer's name? And it's like, Pat. Well, Pat, no, that's not a front man's name. It's not Pat. He's Tat, and he has tattoos. So his name is Tat. The band is Tat. And we're freaking out because we're like, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. So
the look on Pat's face though, blank stare, and he's like, "Am I dreaming right now? Is this actually happening?"
So we do some digging. Okay, we take it. home, we're like freaking out. We can't be named that. We do some digging. There's a band already called Tat. Thank God. We're off the hook. It gets better. So we go back. You know what, Gene? Sorry. The Tat thing's not happening. It's taken.
Thank God.
Well, that didn't deter him. So he comes back with the band. He's still Tat.
Do the email.
And the band's name is Tat Missile.
No.
Can you imagine Summer Girl by Tat Missile?
It's an unfortunate string of words right there.
Yo.
Forgive me for not thinking he's the industry genius a lot of people.
No, this is clearly destiny. To go through all those bad names and then end up with a fire name like Stereos, because it could have went. Wow, that's destiny. Like you gotta thank your lucky stars at
Big time, man. And I'm happy because we can kind of, if we get to that point, we can always put out new music. You can rebrand with a name that like simple and fluid, right? Like we could do whatever. And so I'm so thankful that we had a simple name. Amazing it wasn't taken.
Oh my
and
God, I know.
it just it can be anything. So we're very lucky. Yeah, no kidding.
Dude, city kids.
Way too cool.
You guys talked about that the 20 songs you had written before this band that kind of put the band together.
You did your research, man. Impressed.
I know how to read. I use the interweb.
I was gonna give you 5 minutes and see if I was gonna get up and walk out, but I'm not. You're good.
All right, perfect. Those songs, were they written more just kind of vocalist and guitar, and how did they sound compared to the finished product?
You know what it was? I remember hearing from my bass teacher, actually. He said, you have to write 500 bad songs before you write one good one. And at that time, I think we had 5. So I was like, we got a whole lot of songs to get through here. But then we put the number at 20. We're like, let's just try to hit 20. And then they just started flowing, and Pat just kept writing. And dude, before we knew it, there was probably like over 30, to tell you the truth. But like finished probably about 20. And then, we just kept writing. But it's like getting in that motion of like always writing and like trying to hit numbers and hit goals and stuff like that. That's, So what was your question? Were they good songs?
How did they sound compared to the finished product? And were they written like just more, I guess, songwriting only, or were they written with kind of the chords and everything like that together?
So the way I write, and I showed them a joke song once that I wrote on my computer because I can't play any instruments.
Okay.
And both Rob and Dan, it was just the 3 of us, and that's how it started out. They were like, well, yeah, it's a joke song, but this is good. Like, why don't we write this way?
Which one was that?
I don't even, dude. I can't say the lyrics. Like,
Yo,
it
you're
was a
getting
joke.
through the ice cream.
Dude, I'm going to win this thing.
Dude, that's the thing. Just
This is nuts.
Chant
This
my
is
name,
actually-
dude.
This is actually nuts.
anyways, and so I started putting songs together with just like on my GarageBand, like just. And then we realized that's a formula to get a full song, as opposed to jamming out the 3 of us. Every band has their methods, but we really found that jamming in a room and trying to come up with parts was not really conducive to like coming up with. It's just too many cooks in the kitchen. What we did though is I would have these finished songs, just 4 chord progressions at most,
The skeleton.
with my vocal melodies. So that's what I think made our song so catchy, is that all I'm thinking is vocal melodies. So I'm fitting the music around. I'm not thinking, what key is this in? Like, have we used this chord before? I'm just like, I have the catchiest idea. I need to put chords behind it. So then we take it to the band. We'd put it through the filter. We'd make it like come to life for an actual band. And that's how we got to that process. But versus the end product, like you said, you got to think that like we hit Summer Girl actually fairly early. Like we were still known when I wrote Summer Girl in my dad's basement. And then you still write songs, and some of those are garbage too. It's not as though you write Summer Girl
And then all of a sudden
everything's
everything's
great
good.
from there. We got some garbage songs on both albums, but yeah, like that's when we really started hitting our stride, when we realized that writing method of just me putting the chords versus vocal melodies was the best way to get hooky songs, and I think we ended up doing that for the most part.
Definitely, I agree, completely agree. Do you guys ever think about how that sound would live in today? Because I think even like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not unique, but still at the same time, like it takes so much elements of other things that you can see the elements in it. But I haven't heard a band kind of in that vein since you guys. Have you guys ever thought about just how your music would stand if you just came out again fresh?
I don't think it would do as well. I think like we were very much of the time, like I was studying the radio essentially back then. People would ask what I listened to. It was the radio. And it was like I was really into like The Dream and T-Pain. But they had great songs like and so like that's what I was trying to like. I don't know if it would be the same, right?
True.
I think we were very much
very
think 2000.
I think the uniqueness of it is what I would say, because I feel like, you know, that sound, and again, no one really uses autotune in that way now. And the way you guys use it, you can still hear your voice and you have your voice beside the auto-tune. A lot of auto-tune now is like you might not be able to tell who it is. You hear it's auto-tune, but you're not sure who it is. I think that's what makes you guys unique.
You're right, man. And like it's one thing that we've realized, I think, in retrospect. Like at the time, and especially the way it ended wasn't like the greatest. And for a lot of years, we're kind of like, I honestly thought of ourselves as kind of a joke band. Not a joke band. Like I was proud of it, but it's also like, we were very, very like bubblegum and like the auto-tune thing. But then I look back on it, and I honestly think you're right. And this isn't an ego. I do think you're right. I think we had a crazy mix of sounds that we all genuinely loved and did in a way that no one else really did. And I think since I think it was 2 years after we broke up, we saw the Junos, and not going to name names, but there were like 3 or 4 bands like going into kind of like this hip hop rock thing. And I was like, man, this sounds like a stereo
for sure.
song.
That's what's crazy. When you guys disbanded, that is what made you guys, I guess, more popular at that time. Because I remember, like, I'm not gonna name names, but I remember hearing bands that sounded like you, and I thought to myself, "Oh, is this band coming back?" Like that's where my brain went. So I went to check on you guys, and I saw that you guys were broken up. But that, again, the copycats kind of.
Dude, it went over into like our live show too. Like we would go on tour with bands way bigger than us, and Rob and I would be running around stage, wireless with our guitars and stuff, running around, jumping on these boxes, amps and stuff, and.
So proud of you.
And then all of a sudden, it would be like a week into the tour, the like headlining band would be literally like choreographing their moves and like switching sides and like doing almost like identical kind of like movements and stuff. And we're just like, I don't know where we got it from. Like,
I think we got it from playing in like literally hardcore and punk bands and also loving pop music. That's the thing is like when we got our success, there were so many people back home being like, there's no way, like I know this guy, he loves like AFI, he listens to Rancid, and now they're playing this pop. Yeah, I love them all. Like
that's not illegal. Like
I am literally genuinely in love with good songs and good hooks, and that can be country, rock and roll, punk rock, and so we brought that all together because we were rehearsing yesterday. We have this like very reggae influenced song. We're playing it after this very like top like 40 dance song, and I think that's so us though. Like it was. I love them equally, and I don't know.
It's a juxtaposition of the both of them put together. Yeah, for sure.
It's like saying like, I know this guy. He watched a horror movie. He's watching.
He's making comedies now. That's exactly
Fake
like
news.
that.
It's like
it's like people can do whatever they want. Let's talk about the show coming up this Saturday. What are you guys' expectations of the show, and how excited are you? Because to me, I feel like that's probably one of the biggest shows of the week, without a doubt. What are you guys feeling about it?
I hope so, man. It's. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be emotional because
for sure.
This was for us. I'm not gonna lie. This show was to like massage our own egos and kind of go out with a bang. Like I would love for this to turn into more, to be honest. But if it's not, like this was because we created something so great from our parents' basements. We worked our butts off to get there. And then we didn't really get a good goodbye. And it ended on a note that I don't think was fair to what we accomplished.
Yeah, facts.
And so that's what this was about. And if 100 people showed up, man, I would have been like, that's great. Like, this is for me to be like, I did a stereo show. I got to go to Toronto. And I have to give a shout out to Andrew Valley for putting this together, man, because he was the only person who believed in this. No promoters would take this show.
Dude, we didn't even believe in ourselves.
We were like, we were maybe going to like do, I don't know. It's such a long story. So the fact that it's sold out is bananas to me. And I like my expectation, like they've already been met. You know what I mean? It's not even like obviously we want to give them a good show, but it's not about my performance, man. It's about sharing that night and just celebrating because 500 people care that much.
Honestly, I can tell you, everyone who has a ticket to that show is emotional. You could go up there and not say a word, man. Like
it takes a lot of pressure off. I agree with you. I actually do. No, like, because if it was like at 200, let's say, and we've done that a million times, where it's half full, you kind of hope people show up that day. We've done that, and it would be fine. But I feel like and Rob and I right now, we have like this like pop punk band, and it's a lot of fun in Edmonton. But we're playing to some half empty rooms, and you kind of gotta. It's just not the same energy when you go out there and they're there to see you, and it's sold out, and the energy is there. It's a cakewalk.
Oh, exactly.
It's going to be emotional, man. It's going to be very surreal.
It will be.
Like,
I don't even know what to say. Like even in practice last night, we were playing the songs, and I was saying this one sample brought me back to when we made it, and I was saying like I remember hearing that sample, making our first like rainbow colored logo. We first started having the diamond, and I remember that's when I discovered Circa, the nightclub. I don't know if you guys, probably a little bit before your time if you were 14, but like that's where girls started talking to us and being like, "Hey, aren't you there?" I was like, "What? Yeah," and like that's where life started.
It all started.
And that sample brought me back to being like, our lives are awesome right now. And so even just a sample. So I can't. Oh, dude, playing in front of kids, playing these songs, it's gonna be banana lands.
It's gonna be insane. Thank you guys so much for joining us at the Cool Table.
We're not done yet. Keep going.
Ask me something else.
How close are you? Let me see.
Play to win.
That's crazy.
This would be like suspending Cogliano while he has the Iron Man streak, man.
Totally, exactly like that.
Interview now.
Yo, I
want to know why? Because you said that no one else had done it. And I was like, well, I have to then. If someone else had eaten the whole thing, I would have been like, well, then it's already been done.
But the way, I was kind of watching you while you're eating, while we're talking. The scoops that he's taking are like this. And I'm thinking it's going to be like a 3-bite brownie type thing. No, the whole thing goes in his mouth and it disappears.
Don't judge me, dude.
When he was first taking his first couple scoops.
I was just dipping my toes, dude.
And you know what? Let's get it.
Oh man, this is
Hey man,
this is incredible. This is incredible. Wow. Well, listen, we have a first timer. The first time to have the ice cream done. And anyone who's joined the Cool Table X for season 2, you've seen it here first. It's possible. The ice cream can be finished.
maybe possible.
No. Listen, we're all human. He did it.
Dedication.
It's possible. It's possible.
First rock band to
just
use
train hard.
auto-tune, and now the first guy to finish the thing of ice cream. That's another plaque. Forget the other plaques. This means more.
Yeah, we got to get a plaque for this.
I agree.
There it is, last scoop, fellas.
Yeah, listen. If you guys do another show in Toronto, you will be back and you will be getting something.
I hope we do, man. Bingo. Wow.
There it is.
1,500 calories.
That's the
Feel great,
best. That's the
boys.
best way to end it right there. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank you for
it. It's
having
been
us.
fun.
Seriously, it was a great interview, and you did your research. I love
Thanks
that.
for the free lunch.
Thank you. Know yourself. Know your worth.
Haha.